Hello, this is the teacher model for lesson 20.3. Our directions say that we are going to identify a sequence of transformations that will transform figure A into figure B and then into figure C. So just remember, a sequence is a list of steps that we're going to be taking. I'm going to use black for us to move from the blue trapezoid to the pink trapezoid, and then finally into the green trapezoid. So one of the first things I noticed is that to go from the blue trapezoid to the pink trapezoid, it looks like it got a lot bigger, and we call this transformation a dilation, and more specifically, we are making an enlargement as it's going to get bigger. Now, in order to figure out that scale factor, we have to start counting some of the side lengths. So if I look at this side length down here on the blue, I counted two sides or 2 units. And then if I'm looking at the pink trapezoid, I counted 4 units. Now I'm going to do it again just to make sure. I see over here that I have 2 units. And then on this side, I have 2, 3, 4 units. Now, in order to figure out my scale factor, I need to take my dilation and divide it by the pre-image, and that gives me a scale factor of 2. So in order to take my blue trapezoid and make it into the pink trapezoid, the first thing I need to do is multiply both of my x and y coordinates by 2. So in order to do that, I'm just going to erase some of my work here. And if I am looking at this point over here, it's going to be at -1, -1. And in order to make that dilation, I would then multiply each of those points by 2, which would get me to -2, -2, which is right here. And then if I look at my next point, I see I have 1, -1. And if I multiply that by 2, that gets me to 2, -2, which would go over 2, -2, and would put me right here. Then on top, I see the point 1, 1. If I multiply each of those by 2, that's going to get me to 2, 2. So if I get to 2, 2, that would be right here. And then finally, I have the point 0, 1. I multiply that by 2. That's going to get me to 0, 2, which is right here. And then that, in fact, leads me to the pink transformation. Okay, so I'm going to erase that really quick. Okay, and then now that I'm at the pink one and I see that the pink one is the same size as the green one, all I have to do is move it to get towards the C. So I would need to make sure I'm thinking about how many points over would it take to get to this point. So I'm going to go from this point to this point. So if I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, that's going to be in line with that point. So I'm going to be going 4 units to the right. If I tried it with another point, I can make sure it lines up again. So if I'm over here at this point, I want to make sure it lines up. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it looks like we're going to get in the exact same line. So that would put me right here. I'm going to be right here. Let's move again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll be right here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and be right here. So now, if you can imagine, I've got my trapezoid. Now it's hard to tell with all the different colors. But now he's right there. So my next transformation would be adding 4 to my x coordinates, which we did right there with the green one. Now I still have to move it up. If you can see, it's not entirely on the C. So I'm going to erase that already. Now in order to move it up, let me draw that back one more time. One, two, three, 4. Okay, so here was the one we just moved. Now, in order to move that up, I have to see how far away this point is from this point. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, which means that we are then going to be translating our shape up or just sliding it up 2. So then my last transformation would be that I'm adding 2 to my y coordinate, and then that would get me to my image, which would be at C. All right, please make sure you are filling this in on your sheet. Remember, you are writing down these different sequence of events from how you got from one shape to the next shape. Okay, have a nice day, guys.